Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, June 18. The Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology is being guided by the Attorney General's chambers on steps to address legal developments in the compulsory acquisition of the Venezuelan government's previous 49% shares in Petrojam. In a release, Portfolio Minister Favour Williams says a letter was received from a law firm representing the Venezuelan oil subsidiary PDV Carib. This was forwarded to the Attorney General's office. Following approval in the House of Representatives, the Senate approved legislation to retake ownership of PDV Carib's shares in Petrojam on February 22. The government's decision was in a bid to safeguard the country's energy security. It was also reinforced by years of inaction by PDV Carib to upgrade and expand the oil refinery, which formed part of a joint venture agreement in the sale of Petrojam shares in August 2006 and February 2007. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says designs have begun for the construction of a pier in Port Royal. This investment is to support the preservation of artifacts from the sunken city and increase economic activities within Kingston.
It will become a port of call for cruise ships to once again come into the port of Kingston. We will return the ferry system from Port Royal into Kingston. It will mean greater employment for the people who live in that area, and we will be able to have economic benefit from our history.
Prime Minister Holness was addressing the opening ceremony for the 8th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference on Sunday. He told the Jamaicans living overseas that the build-out of roadworks across the corporate area would support this increase in economic activities. It's part of a strategic move to position Kingston as the Caribbean's center for trade, commerce, art, culture, and entertainment. And speaking at the same function, President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, asserted that human capital must be the driving force of economic and social development if nations are to achieve self-reliance. He said aspired levels of development could not be achieved solely by aid or external assistance, no matter how generous.
It is a mindset that I wish us to discard, a mindset of dependency and living on handouts, which are unhealthy, both for the giver and for the recipient.
President Akufo-Addo said African countries had come a long way from that aid-dependent status and were on their way to building robust economies that would propel them into the ranks of developed nations. Also coming out of the conference, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says a global Diaspora Council will be established to provide the institutional framework for a more organized and expanded Jamaica Diaspora organization. She says this will create a wider membership of Jamaicans.
This widened group, this proposed group of the Diaspora Council, will not only ease the burden placed on a few who now carry the weight of the board, but it will allow for greater inclusivity.
The Foreign Affairs Minister was speaking at the first plenary session of the 2019 conference on Monday. In an update from the Diaspora Advisory Board meeting held on Sunday, she said representation would be made from 6 regions for appointment on the board. 3 newly retrofitted ambulances costing just under $31 million were handed over to the Percy Junior Hospital in Mandeville recently. The Regional Health Authority converted 3 new buses into the ambulances, which resulted in savings of over $10 million. This increases the number of units in the Southern Regional Health Authority to 14.
You know, when it comes to saving lives, the mobility, the logistics of the process, separate and apart from the expertise of doctors and nurses, is very, very critical.
Each vehicle is equipped with heart monitor, suction and ECG machines, double nurses' seats, stretcher, cupboards to store vital medical equipment, and other vital amenities. The ambulances are expected to give at least 10 good years of service. And finally, Jamaicans continue to honor former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga's legacy at a football festival on Sunday. Held at the Edward Seaga Sports Complex, the tournament featured past and present players of the Tivoli Gardens Football Club, which was founded by the late constituency representative.
It was a very well set up all-star setup to represent the life and passing of Mr. Edward Seaga. You know, the past players of Tivoli Garden and, as you can see, neighboring community at Arnold Garden, you know, national players, representative, even having the coach Theodore Whitmore here. So It was totally a bunch of entertainment and love in regards to how Mr. Edward Seaga loved the sports of football and sports in regards to everything.
The Tivoli All-Stars suffered a 1-0 loss to the Premier League Clubs Association team, while the Tivoli Under-20 team settled for a 1-1 draw with Casafa. The Tivoli Under-17 team was, however, victorious, beating Santos FC 3-0. Celebratory activities continue on Wednesday with a revival table at the Tivoli Gardens Community Centre and a joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament, as well as a set-up at Tivoli Gardens Square on Saturday. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.